So apologies for the sound, just be mindful of that. I have a 9 to 5, which I treat like a side hustle. Although this is what I treat it as, in reality this can be a little more than that physically. This week we all went back to the office from working from home. Remember, this is just after our second lockdown here in New Zealand. And going back to the office for the entire team was a bit of a stretch. It was all quite sudden, and yeah, there was a bit of chaos in the office this week. But it's all good. Got through it, and things are a little quieter now, so that's good. But what I'm saying is, this 9 to 5 is getting to be a little bit more than what I like it to be, if that makes sense. So soon I will be looking to cut down some hours, because the good thing about this is I'm still making money, of course. The downside of that is I'm losing time, and that is something I'm not prepared to tolerate right now. I need that extra time with the week, during the weekdays. Every weekday I wake up around 5:30, 6. I start moving. Start with yogic exercise, body weight exercise, and or the gym. Tomorrow's leg day. Should be fun. And I hit the cold shower, and I make myself one of these: black coffee, almond milk, and a little bit of butter. I stopped watching news. I stopped following American politics. I stopped getting into discussions, let alone arguments, discussions about current cultural movements, political movements, not cultural movements, political movements. I stopped getting myself involved in taking a side. But what I mean by that is not like a moral stance. No, I'm clear about those. I have values. I live by values, not by political views. Conservatives, liberals, progressive people, and the left, the right. I decided to step away from this reductive narrative, this dichotomy between the left-leaning people and the right-leaning people, the left wing, the right wing. We need both. But the reason why I did that was not because I don't have strong opinions or a strong stance. I do. But it's simply because it's a waste of time. The discussions and the arguments are endless. And I think it will be different going into the future, going into the China era. These remnants of the falling American cultural edifice, political edifice. I'd be careful about what I associate myself with. noise warning right here. I'm just going through the tunnel. It's quieting down a bit. Excuse to enjoy another sip of coffee. These days I'm more concerned about the inner geography, the individual level. I don't know whether this is something that happens when you get older. You know that old saying, right? How does it go again? When I was young, I tried to change the world, or I wanted to change the world. Now that I'm older, I want to change myself, something along those lines. I can relate to this. I can definitely relate to that. I remember when I graduated from my political science degree from Auckland University, I wanted to either join the Amnesty International or the UN or some other form of non-governmental organization. We're catching the Harbour Bridge right now, so I'll just quieten down a little bit. To my right, there's the Auckland skyline. I live in a beautiful city. I love it here. I will keep living here. Oh man, that's perfect. Hope you're doing well. Wherever you're joining in from. If you made it this far on this conversation. Island Empire is the podcast series that I'm doing on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it and subscribe to the channel. That will be very helpful, obviously. Help me grow the channel, Island Empire on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram if you're there. Island_Empire Instagram. Island Empire is that place where we explore expansive ideas and come up with conscious action. One reason I stayed off news, the social media echo chamber world, is because it kind of traps your mind. It just stuns the growth of your mind, and it doesn't encourage free thinking. It's very reactive. It's very emotionally unstable. Breaking news all the time. Clickbait type journalism, sensationalized content. And the amount of cortisol, stress chemicals that's released in your brain cannot be good for you. I'm just starting to notice people just constantly walking around angry and enraged all the time and looking for an excuse to get offended. And this started becoming a little hilarious to me. So my thing is self-transformation, rapid self-transformation, because I think there is a time factor involved here. It is possible for us to rewire ourselves. Oh, by the way, yesterday's episode, that's what I actually wanted to talk about in this drive time chat. I was supposed to have the 5th episode released yesterday, and my good old iMac wasn't able to handle it. It's gotten a little old, so I need to get myself a new iMac now. That should be fun. But still, unfortunately that means I'm going to be a little 24 hours later. But I'll get there. Rewarding yourself for positive behaviors. This is an important technique I have been practicing for the last year, along with all the other crazy fun stuff that I talk about in the episode, which will come out sometime later tonight. I talked about 3 major belief systems that I destroyed within a year. And that is counting from last September to now. So yeah, I really enjoyed recording that episode. Just gonna find myself a park here. I don't take sides. I don't get into these reductive ways of looking at the human experience through the eyes of Eurocentric ways of political organization, the left and the right. These ideas came from the Enlightenment era, the era that they chose to call the Enlightenment era in Europe. Karl Marx and all of the other intellectuals that developed these kind of political theories. And I think it's time that we look at ourselves in more than just political, which side of the aisle we fall into. This whole identity politics thing that is dominating the news at the moment. I chose to stay away from that. And it's been good for my health, personally, I know that. Stepping away from this conundrum and stepping into a place where our ancestors, my ancestors, suggested that I should go into the inner space. There was a lot of talk at the time of Jesus of Nazareth about the kingdom, a political entity. And Jesus corrected them, saying, the real kingdom is within. So that's the advice I took upon myself, to go within and transform, rewire, recondition, and self-teach, discipline, and see how I can influence by changing the inner geography, how I can influence the outer world as well. And this has been a fun ride. This has been an adventurous ride. And I will be talking about these kind of stuff in more and more in the episodes to come, of course. But this is just me getting started. JV Single Island Empire talk to you soon. Enjoy your day.